like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Hello, Evgeny, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. We are here with Evgeny. He's a director of marketing at VP. He has been with a long history in esports. He has been working with brands in more than 60 countries, and now he has a new lineup in Free Fire in Latam. We are here with Luca, our host.
Hello, everyone. An absolute pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Luca. And my first question for you, Evgeny, is for you introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, how you started. I know that you have been doing some great things before the esports, so I'd like to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here today. Yeah, let me start from the basic things. It's all started a long time ago when I was a kid and I was passionate about all the gaming. Then, started playing the first Dota with all the CS scene and just going out with my friends doing stuff. And at the time, of course, all of us dreamt about getting into esports, about connecting our life with gaming. And I'm from the pretty small town, so there weren't any opportunities regarding that. And then after in the uni, and when I finished it, I was a part of the local community of gamers. And of course, we were hanging out again. And then after I finished uni, I decided that I want to do some interesting stuff. So I went to a creative agency, as lots of people there. But we had a key thing that if you knew how to do something, if you could draw, you could become an art director. And I had no basic skills, so I became a copywriter. And from that point, I started just inventing different things, finding new niches, starting selling creatives to different brands, working in advertising agencies. And then I switched my career basically to esports by one day when guys from Gambit Esports texted me if I wanted to join the creative department. And that's it, is how it started. And then I already knew that I know the industry, I know how brands work, I know how strategy work. Let me do something different. And it was the first time when esports was introduced not just as another gaming industry, like not just entertainment. It was a platform for brands to grow, and we started selling it not like a logo and jersey. We created full 360 platforms of marketing for marketing people, explaining them and describing why it will be interesting for their brand, how they can grow. And that was just a part of career as a start. So I already knew that I was pretty esportish guy and I wanted to go join the big marketing corporations. So I went to Kaspersky, and there I lead the brand communication team, Global One. And also, as esports was my passion, I couldn't, stop developing things in that area. So, like all the initiatives, and actually, we entered the Garena Free Fire at the time when I was in the cybersecurity company. It was one of our like streams of working to create revenues. And also, I was managing several esports team in the brand communications. So it was for me, another challenging experience when at first you was working for the team inside of it and, inventing different creative stuff. And then from the other side, now you're working in a big brand and you don't need to think just about how to sell these like, creative opportunities, but you now need to evaluate them from a different perspective. So it was another real big challenge in my regular job. It wasn't the pure part because like all the B2C, B2B, business, commerce, and everything in the esports that you really love. And it all became one big brand that we developed around the world in all the countries. And then I came back to the roots. Now I am in the Virtus.pro as a CMO, as leading all the marketing. And now, yeah, I think it's just pure logic that at first I started to work as a brand from the inside of esports or the like lower position. Then I get to the brand and I get back to help business and help esports organization to work closer with the real segment business and help them growing. That I find really exciting.
And well, you mentioned that you worked as a copywriter right in the beginning. I would like to know, like, how has your marketing background helped, like, ingressing into esports?
Uh, you mean how my all that creative background helped me to get into esports? I think it's all about being able to learn new things. And as soon as my major in was marketing at university, I combined the different set of skills that I would say that I'm not making the dumb mistakes. So, when you already have some kind of education, of course, after graduation, no one cares about your experience at uni. You like need to learn everything from scratch, how the real business, how real segments work. And for me, it was a real big challenge at first to join the world of advertising. And all the movies that show that parties with different drugs, with drinks, with booze, like
Yeah.
that people do nothing. They just have party all the time. And in the real world, it was different because people were sitting in front of their laptops 24 hours a day and just working. And it was a bit shocking experience, but it helped me to understand that real business is just something different. It's not what you can see on the TV. And when I came with this, like with a broken heart, when I came to esports, it was from one side, it was luck and opportunity, but we all monitor organizations. And when you have any club open vacancy, you just apply and you can get there. It's just that there is a chance that you will get there. There is no like perfect employee for that company. You just need to understand the world of esports and have a set of skills that's just on a decent amount. Unfortunately, if only there was a chance. But what I can say that maybe the first thing when I came there, I didn't have any illusions that it would be like fun, pure fun, that I will play all day, that I will travel around the world. Of course, it's a part of your job. You need to go somewhere, but it's not how you see it from the inside. From inside, you see it in same like in the corporation. So you see all the dashboards, all the P&Ls, all the budgeting, and you understand that how much sport actually cost. And it's pretty expensive. And here, why marketing is different in esports, because we are not wasting money. We are reinvesting. With all the content production, we are trying to leverage our opportunities and from one side, of course, sell them to our partners, sponsors. It's how business works. But from the other side, we need to understand that every social media post worth something, because it's your people. And when you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 disciplines, it's pretty easy. Because you have one SMM manager per one game, and that's it. But when you have 20 of them, when you have 25 or 28 rosters in the pick, it's no one can imagine
Yeah,
how
it's
it
crazy.
works.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, and there is no one person who can accumulate everything. That's why we try, to distribute our business a bit in terms of marketing, because there are some people that are experts in the FPS games. Some of them are in MOBA, some of them are in mobiles, and I think it's everywhere in all the divisions is like this. But we don't have many people, and maybe in the end, for me, it's extremely difficult and challenging. I would say that it's really challenging to be aware of everything that happens on esports market, because maybe there is no major titles that we miss and not monitor.
Yeah, nice. Really good explanation. I saw that you studied in Australia. I studied there too. I was there in 2015 and 2015. And there you start as a lead of digital creative, right? In VML, in a company.
Uh, yep, I started on a distance, not really in Australia. Actually, I moved at the time. I finished my degree. I just think it was a travel time for me.
Yes. Where do you
Uh,
live? And how was that experience for you? How that makes you a better communicator, a better marketing one? How was that? And the most
my first
importantly,
job, or my uni, or my life in Sydney, Australia.
both case, both case.
Everything, everything. Australia is a unique country, I think. You can find any type of person from all around the world, and I wouldn't say that it was easy. Because yeah, I can consider myself like bilingual. I learned English from my early ages, but first, of course, so when you live for so like long time in different countries, you cannot expect your just vision to be the same. Yeah, it's always different, and there are a lot of people who influence it. So I think that it was maybe the first time when I lived for 4 years, really far from all my friends and family, and it taught me to be totally independent, because no one can help you at the time. If anything happens, you don't know where to go. So you need local friends, you need local communities, and that's why. And maybe at that time, I met Allison, who became I cannot say mentor, but like my soul buddy, who taught me different things. And he was leading the esports community at our University of Sydney. So maybe it influenced me a lot. It's like at the time I met the PIG, all the Australian streamers, and you see again, you see the world differently. And maybe that's the case, that you always change something. And they used to change my life different times. Like used to live in Ireland for some time, used to travel around Europe, spend some time in UK, and then Australia. And in the end, it appears that you just collect all the cultures inside you, and you change your mindset. So you're not focusing on the particular markets. You just understand how people live there, and in a career, and like work in different markets. Because I think that there was no time when I was working in the local company. I mean, like local one. Always it was either international corporation or it was a company, and I was leading operations in different markets. And that really helped me, because as soon as it was Australia, as soon as I'm from Europe myself, I understand Asian markets, I understand European markets, and I understand the Middle East and how it works. So for me, like combining everything is really important. And I have a lot of friends in Latin America, in Northern America. So everything just appears not to be one world, and it's really small.
Yeah.
And
So that's
which? No, continue, please.
that's how it's affected. It was just a recap.
No, and like which project like early in your career excited you the most, and what did you learn about crisis management from that experience?
Oh, crisis management. I don't know why, but all my career is all around crisis management. But maybe COVID was one of the first real big crises that I faced myself, because previously it was like, economical crisis is always near. Yeah, we kind of say it's a challenge, like brands come, brands go. But yeah, COVID became a real earthquake for the whole industry, and everything changed. And basically, at the time, I used to work in VML Wanda, international advertising agency, and we had a collaboration with Virtus.pro for one brand. At the time, it was how many years? 7? Yeah, it was 7 or 8 years ago. And at that time, I used to work as the creative supplier for the brand for the special project with Virtus.pro. At that moment, I decided that I want to switch to esports again. I felt like it was the time where all traditional advertising, when all traditional market was like collapsing, and esports became on the rise. And at the time, we created this project. It was like the ambassadorship of athletes of Virtus.pro for the product. It became like all the online tournaments and maybe now it sounds like a generic esports project, but at that days it was pretty interesting to do. And for me, uh, as a creative guy working with something with my passion, it was always nice. And then I switched to the esport organization. And maybe at that moment, when I just moved from the traditional agency to in-house creative for esports, that became quite a thing both times, because first time it was for me personally. Yeah, I understood that it's my time, to grow. I had the opportunity. And for the team and for the brand, yeah, it was a grow as well. Because as I told, so we just rebuilt the all commerce department. All the commercial was just built from the different perspectives. Originally, it started as the traditional sponsorship, and the end when I quit the company, we became an in-house creative agency inside of the esports organization.
Nice. You said that you changed like your career for like in one agency marketing for like how can I say like more a client side marketing like for the final one. For you, what was like a gap that you felt in there? Like your expectation from this change, one challenge that you have, or I don't know, something that you liked in the new way.
I have a joke that on the agency side, you think that clients are stupid, and all clients think that agencies are stupid and they don't know how it works. And I would say that they've been on both sides, and both sides are pretty weird to work with. Yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah, it's not actually funny. It's just because of miscommunications, because people have different goals, different aims, and you need a good account inside of the clients or inside of the agency side. You need a nice account team, and you need good brand and marketing managers on the other side of the client, so they can talk to each other, and then in the end you develop good results. And the second thing, as I think all our viewers will enjoy, that you always think that clients earn more. And when you're on the client side, you know that agencies earn much more because they have more job and they have more clients. But it's bullshit. We all earn nothing. Yeah, it's just the same thing everywhere. It's like people think that Virtus.pro is an organization with the infinite budgets for the players, for the marketing, for everything. But we're a private organization because we have our P&Ls. It's not like we have infinite bank accounts. No, not like this. No. And that maybe you always think about budgets, you always think about money, and even during your growth in the company or in an agency, you think that there are some mature people that like mythical like, let's call them parents, those people who know how to solve problems, who can tell you what to do. But at one day you understand that you're on the C level of the company, and there are no people who can tell you what to do because we all work from our experience. We all try to deliver results, and there are no people with like sacred knowledge who can just help you to solve everything. You need to think with your own brain.
Nice. You said about like the VP because they think that you have like infinite money and infinite sponsors. I think it's because one of the most, like, how can I say, oldest companies from esports in the world is from 2003. I played Dota like you played in 2010, and I have the opportunity to play against VPs 2 or 3 times. So it's like really, how can I say, like a dinosaur from from esports.
Experience team, yeah, let's
Experience,
call it
yeah,
like this.
yeah, yeah. uh,
And continuing talking about your career, you left BML and went to Kaspersky, right? And you managed global brand communications. And how do you keep like a cybersecurity brand like relevant to the average consumer?
Great question. Nobody asked me when I was a Kaspersky, I could say. No, it was actually a joke. Extremely difficult because the older we get, it's better we understand why we need cybersecurity, that we need some protection, we understand how technology works. And the key problem is that I think the middle segment, maybe the Gen Z, or like people around their 30s, they grow up already, and we have two splits. We have some people who are like, oh, with the age of maybe over 40 years old, and they know why they need Kaspersky. And we have an audience of maybe 16 to 18 years old, and they're already self-aware actually. It may sound weird, but they already know that they need to protect themselves. They know why do they need VPNs, why do they need to, save the traffic and everything. But when we come to the middle age, people don't really care about that, and keeping it relevant, it's a problem. But we have, from one side, traditional instruments, like advertising. Of course, we're all. But from the other side, we need to be relevant and to be a part of the community. And we started to build that community because no one is doing this from competitors as well. And for us, it was a part of culture. So, like you brush your teeth in the morning, you drink a cup of coffee, it's your routine. But why changing passwords isn't one? And it's not talking about like creative aspect of this life. It's just the basic principles. You wash your hands. It's normal to do so. No, sometimes you go to shower, and this digital hygiene. And we started to get into different communities because we cannot get relevant by advertising to that audience. So we've been into music, into gaming, into sports, everywhere with all the sponsorship. So Kaspersky becomes the part of your life, and cybersecurity should become a part of your life. And that was the brand strategy that I think is pretty successful, as we can see from the numbers and from the brand's health.
And how did Kaspersky handle brand marketing during global privacy crisis, like to maintain the user trust?
Globally, we just did what we can do the best because our products and transparency told for us. I wouldn't say that there is any kind of secret. There was a lot of news around the company, around the privacy in general. So we were just working. I would say that it was a product first company, not just the marketing first. That's why building the best things and being on the top of ratings everywhere is still a key thing.
mm, and now you are working in the entertainment industry, and for someone who is watching here, but they don't work in entertainment, what, in your opinion, like companies like Kaspersky and others tech companies can learn from our industry to get like some engagements for the brand, for getting some advices for that?
Uh, you mean advice for brands?
Yeah.
how they can work better. I think that people need to learn how to count these kind of results, and they need to evaluate why they need this, because like esports, like any entertainment, is not for everyone. It's clear, but it has a big, huge fan base around the world, and it can be used in different ways. So, for one side, if you're the brand that's known by like no one, of course, for you, presence on jerseys, presence on all the tournaments around the world, in all the teams' media, it's a nice instrument just to build brand awareness. Like we're talking about basic marketing funnel. I think we need, maybe later in the editing, just put it here. Like we have a awareness consideration and usage phase.
Yeah.
And esports is one of the instrument, and not just esports, but working with the esports team is the way to build the full funnel approach. Like from awareness stage, when you have your logo presence around the media, to consideration, because you have access to actual team, to their content, and team can tell you their audience and even your audience, if you use that pieces of content, they can explain your products to build trust. And it's not like putting another, like product placement somewhere in the video, but when real famous players tell and try and just walk through your digital products first, it's really much easier to explain why they're relevant for your community. And then when we come to top and down funnel, and the usage and basically conversion, because everyone now tells me about we need to sell our products, how you can help us. But the key thing that we cannot sell your product directly. Yeah, we don't have like all our web stores. We're not Amazon, but you have your goods on Amazon. And why not to give added value to them? And at the moment, using players' images in no on your cards, on like your visuals, it's just one of the small example that helps you generate revenues. It may sound silly, it may sound really obvious, but when you buy esport organization, people they underestimate the power of IP that they get, because I think all of our sponsors, they're purely allowed to use our identity, to recolor their products, to add our logo to their products and give extra value. And from my experience and how we did it previously in my career and how we do it now with some of our projects, it works. For example, we had one of the projects with a food delivery company, and they created combos that were originally picked by our players. And everywhere you could see, like on the markets in the food delivery app, you could see that this combo was developed by this player, order it now. And in the end of the day, it generated, I think, 2 or 3 times more orders than the regular ones. And we're not talking about, like superstars. We're talking about players and the tag, because people, they like tag. They know, for example, in Brazil, maybe Virtus.pro doesn't have solid social media on the Portuguese Brazil and Portuguese now, but we're working on that. But we have a solid fan base that know us from the past. And now entering this market with the new roster, we really focus on building a better connection with the local audience and with the media.
Nice,
And
nice.
do you think that this is like a priority to the company, like building a relationship with the community of that country, like the biggest
course.
priority?
Of course, it's always the priority to be fan first. We don't have anything to offer but our like fan base, Oh, and the only thing, it's our key value. That's why we do everything for our fans. We play for our fans. We win for our fans. We lose and we really feel bad, but we are still together with our own fan base. And whenever we do any piece of content, so whenever we just do any special project, and whenever even picking a partner and a sponsor, we always think, what can we give to our audience? And that's, I don't know, I think it's pretty obvious to any person who works in esports that we are not selling our like community. It's not like this because we cannot sell trust. And if we do something, we're dependent from people who watch us, and we just kind of disappoint them with the silly things. We can disappoint people, with our loss, but it's sports. It's always like this. We're trying to do our best. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. But we cannot disappoint them with the stupid decisions that we do, and we don't think about them. So yeah, building a strong relations with community and building good relations with the publishers, to deliver conjunction projects to our audience. For example, we're working with Ubisoft. We are their partner on the market. So for us, it's really important to deliver more, than usual. That's why we launched Face It Community Club for Rainbow Six, and now all European community, and we're originally like European club, so we have all the audience here. They come and play. So yeah, it's really, yeah, it's everything we got.
No, don't worry. And like just keep following like the timeline of your career. After the curtain, you are sorry the creative lead for esports, right? At MTS.
Yep. Yep.
And the no, tell.
It was actually a Gambit Esports. Yeah, it was mainly known. It was under the corporation, but I would say it was independent company.
Yeah, it was between 2020 and you make that company start at the sports, and they don't, at least in that time, we don't feel that it was some one known endemic company, it was something like just go in the flow. How was that? How you make this company like a big telecom, huge telecom, starting sports without looking something like that you are like an invader or you are something that you are not part of it?
Uh, yeah, from one side, yeah, the company is real non-endemic and they were sponsoring it. And now we see a lot of teams a lot of companies, they create their own teams. For example, BC Game, yeah, everybody knows like this company now they're on hype. And it wasn't that case because originally Gambit was a solid title in the world, and it was acquired by the telco company. So they became a main sponsor. So for them, yeah, it was a big experiment. How it can go, there were not many sponsors a part of that, but in the end, the sport results was really high. So they became one of the most famous clubs. Still, I think lower in all ratings than the Virtus, but it wasn't a big deal at the time. I think it was a problem that they didn't know how to make it commercially successful. So for them, it was investment project that was just getting all the money from the corporation. So they need solid commerce departments that could help them to grow, and I was a part of that, and we did it actually. By the time I've been there, we restructured it from the scratch with the help of the team, of course. So we're still good friends with all the team, with all the guys there, like amazing people. But yeah, it's just a totally different case when you're not working for a dependent company. You do whatever you want, you have fun, but it's less challenging. I don't like when it's not challenging.
No, of course. I think life is the risk and you have to be challenging. This is like how you enjoy the life. Uh, I want you to start talking about Virtus.pro, Brazil and everything, but before that, I have one question that I usually does because of my experience in Australia, which is about like esports and esports. You know, in Australia, I saw something that it was really interesting for me, and it was really new because in Brazil you almost don't see that, which is like esports in the way that a traditional sports. for example, like cycling. There is a new game that I noticed that it's a tennis one that you can play in VR. How is that for you? You see that esports is a esports. You see that this kind of sports maybe in a future they are getting more people because like I understand why it happens in Australia because of course the weather, you know, it's like really hard for you cycling in in the in the how can I say verão? Forget summer. Yes, it's really hard for you cycling in summer and things like that. Or for example, if you live in Canada in the winter, it's really hard for you cycling. How you see that? If esports is a esport, you see like something good in the future.
I see esports from two perspectives. From one perspective, is competitive gaming. It's that you do for yourself, and from the other side, it's emotions that you get. And if you want to get emotions from the virtual cycling, I don't know how it works. Maybe it works, maybe not. But in terms of being, competitively successful, that may be sport. It's all. Uh, I don't even know how to define it. I don't want to comment on the future of this kind of sports, but of course, I think now we're in this industry for a long time, so we already know that, for example, CS, Dota, Valorant is already Valorant and League of Legends. There are pretty successful titles, and all the I think there are many titles, even more than 20, like in Virtus.pro, and all the titles are successful. So let's see in 2, 3, 5, 10 years whether traditional virtual sport will be successful or not, and then discuss it. Because making forecast is pretty impossible, but as we can see now, I don't see virtual cycling in top Twitch categories.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense.
And continuing talking about Virtus, Virtus just announced that there's return to Free Fire, like with a 100% Brazilian roster, right? I would like to know, like, why choose Brazil as like this major step for this like an international expansion?
And now it's my time to switch answers to different continents. Why did I go to Why did I go to Australia? Because I didn't have friends there. And now we're entering Brazil because for us, we just want to, we can, and we see perspective, discipline, which we can join and do what we do best, trying to win. I think, that's pretty tricky question. That's I'm not from the sport department, so I cannot evaluate it from the sports perspective, but I can evaluate it from the marketing perspective. And it's really big market, and we already known on this market. So finally, we have something to offer on this market, and to be there, not just a team and roster that sometimes travel to major tournaments. Because for us, winning in 2022 in Rio with our CS roster, with the legendary one, it was amazing. When guys came to the major with the other tag, still they just proved that they deserved it. They raised the cup, and it was with all the photos with our players, with the sightseeing, with all the emotional videos. Yeah, it was a thing back then. And now we are back, but in a different way, because we just came to stay, and as long as possible, we have a huge plan on developing the sport disciplines there, and of course media, and developing content around that to be present, and not just as one small thing, but to create our pure branch dedicated to LATAM. You're on mute.
Marcelo.
Sorry, my mute. Yeah. If I'm crazy, let me know. But if I'm not crazy, Virtus.pro joined like a partnership program with Marianna. Uh,
Yep. I don't know if we can publicly talk about that, but I cannot double check it. But anyway, we're on air, we're live, so
okay,
uh,
I'm going to do something more about your
anyway.
area. About your area. For you, I think it's going to be a little bit different for working with Brazilians and Europeans. For you, how is your plan to creating like some content for Brazilian fans? Because I don't know if I'm crazy, but our way to do like some kind of jokes, to do some kind of content is a little bit different than Europe. And how is that for your plans? You have something in mind? You have some ideas?
I know one phrase, and my Brazilian friend told me this: you cannot run Brazil from the outside. So of course we're hiring, and we already have local people there. So of course I wouldn't ever get a person from out of the world and just give it all the Brazilian accounts to manage them and to build. Because for me, as I told, community on the first place. So, like our Overwatch accounts, our Counter-Strike accounts, like our all the Apex, Marvel, every game, and of course the Garena Free Fire should be led by people from community. We should have strong leaders that they don't just know how to create posts and make TikToks. They need to understand the game, but they need to understand community more. So they know what's good, what's bad. They can know what tools they can use, which tools they shouldn't use. We had a lot of problems previously with that because we're experimenting in different formats with different contents, so it's just different topics and games. But now we are on the right track, and when I see the how community engages, how numbers grow, and I'm still marketing person, I should count effectiveness. And I see how community just gives us an answer to all our questions if we're doing it right or wrong.
Uh, One question that it's particularly for me, I am really interested in this part, is two things. The first one, I imagine that you know that Free Fire is a big game here, especially because the social phenomenon. Like it was the first game that people who doesn't have like a strong mobile could play, and especially for VP. I think you know, especially because you come here to our scene, that VP is really famous here. Everyone knows VP. If you play any kind of game, you know VP. Uh, how are you preparing that? Because I think that even you know that people are really fan of VP, they are expecting really good things about VP. They expecting something like in the same way that they see a giant of the Europe. How do you see that? You think that you are still just in Free Fire, that maybe the company is looking for other teams in the future? How do you plan to get like this whole expectation from VP? Because for me, something that I tried to do that in 2010 with Dota, like try to get VP here, and it was impossible in that time. Now it's like a dreaming coming true, like CVP, maybe other good teams like SK coming to Brazil.
It's a great question. And I cannot promise you anything that I'm not responsible for, but I believe that with a solid brand like VP, you just cannot fail. I mean, failing is not an option. That's why we're choosing best players. So we're trying to find best scouts, best teams, best facilities, best boot camps. We built an infrastructure around esports. So for us, it's really honor to bring players from around the world under our tag, and we're trying to give them back the best conditions in exchange of the wins and our reputation. Because if you just miss something, you cannot get back. We know, and sometimes, yes, sometimes not everything goes great. But at the moment, we need to regroup, and as we always say, we come back stronger. maybe it sounds obvious, but yeah, you just need to do the same things. And we at the back office, we're not present. We're not on the streams. We're not coming to stadiums. No one cheers for us, but we are the team as well. And with all the positions, we all cover different spots. It's like we're still esports athletes, but we just do. I consider myself an esports athlete in marketing, and maybe now I'm in-game leader in that marketing department. And when we work for that, we know the results and we cheer for ourselves. And that's what the chemistry need to have inside to build a strong brand, to build strong marketing, and to support our players so we all together can give the best products to our community. That's how it works. And especially, for me, it's a honor to join this tag. And I want to think that it's the same feeling for all athletes who can do this. And for us, I don't know. It's a good question. Which honor is bigger, for us joining Brazil or to Brazil bringing VP to its country?
Great question. Great question. I think if you are asking which one is more exciting about that, I think it's Brazilian going to Europe. Like I said, especially for people who are in the sports for a long time, it was like a dream. Like I said, I really try. I participate of the creation of Pen Game. I think you know the team Pen Game. Before we create the Pen Game, I try many times like teams like VP, Team Wicked, and the other ones.
Yep, I think my camera just stuck and now it's
No,
fine.
that's okay. Don't worry, don't worry. But I think if you ask like for excitement, Brazilians are more excited to join this culture of VP, to know how it's going to be that. One of my best friends are the team manager of VP in Free Fire, so he's really excited to that opportunity. He was like over the moon.
That's amazing. I'm really happy to hear that because when you're inside and you read all the comments and you always remember all the hate, you never remember all the good things. And now when we discuss it openly, it's real
This is one
pleasure
thing
to
that
hear
you
this.
said you are going to have a problem here. Our culture in everything, in any game, in soccer, everything is that in the same way they love you, they will hate you. If you lose a tournament, they will say that you are the worst marketing director, but and it's not your fault because you are doing your sponsors, but you are the worst one. But if you win, you go to the sky for them. You are going to be the best marketing director in your life, and everyone is going to cheer you like, "Hey, you are a good boy."
Let's hope that we're gonna win.
Yeah, I hope too. Uh,
And let's stop talking about Brazil for now. And I would like to know more into a business way. For traditional companies wanting to enter gaming, do you think it's better to sponsor a team or create their own tournament?
Oh, creating their own tournament, it's much more difficult because you need the infrastructure for that. In either way, if you want to organize your own tournament, I would say that you need to sponsor a tournament company. So who knows how to make it, who knows how to bring people there, or either you have so strong media, then you use your own like media assets to attract people to join your tournament, and that doesn't work simply because you're not gathering like new audience. Yeah, you're communicating with the local one. And sponsoring organization, you get direct access to teams' assets and their media, and that's from the other side gives you new audience and like gives you presence on the audience you wasn't presented. And from the other side, you can get all that IPs that I told previously from the team and use it in your own marketing. That doubles the value of the product. So you can count whatever you want and need, but I would say that sponsoring an organization works for And you can even get more engagement than organizing a tournament, because we all know that bringing people and register and make them play at some games is extremely tough. But of course, both options are still legit on the market. It just depends on your goals.
Really good, really good. We have a question for our public, which is almost not a public because the girl who asked she's part of our podcast. She's Letícia. She's a HR in her life, and he asked one question that I think is really good, and most of people who was watching want to know. What is one advice that you give for someone who wants to work with you guys in VP, or in Europe, or in Brazil, or maybe in both?
Watch esports, the first thing. And because it's weird, a lot of people want to get to esports, but they are not into esports enough. So, if you watch couple tournaments, it's not enough to join an organization, because you need to understand much more things. How tournaments work, how teams travel, what's behind the infrastructure, watch vlogs. Learn something about the organization's life rather than just discipline, and that's gonna work. And from the other side, don't limit yourself to esports as well, because we have a really small industry. And for example, a video editor who worked all his life within esports knows a lot about esports and all the tools and all the tricks that other teams do. But if you don't watch contemporary movies, all the music videos, you are not evolving as a professional. So it's like a balancing world, Try to live your life and try to watch as much content as you're able to, and try different things, because people with many hobbies, people with many interests in their lives, people who switch their careers, they appear like smart professionals for me, because they know what to do. And maybe originally, I wouldn't say that it's just the general problem of the industry, but it goes in the curve. That's at first we all had people, who knew how to do any kind of job. They can write text, they can edit videos, make photos, count all the money, and they're just nice communicators. Then, during the time, companies grew, and we had a lot of people, but there were experts and a single role. So accountant only know how to account, SMM manager knew only how to write, and the designer only make one designer for static, one designer for motion, one designer that do identity. And now when we're in another crisis, in a global one, and the crisis of talents as well, again, we're mixing all the things, and now we can do multiple things at once. And if you're capable of doing that, of course, you're much more valuable as a person in a company. It doesn't mean that you will, get a job for 3 people and have only one wage. It's not like that. Of course, you'll have decent payments and everything, but you will be much more valuable in this industry. That may be one of the advices that I would tell, because for me, I know how to teach people to learn esports, but I cannot make a poor professional to be a better one. That's the key thing.
Yeah, you said something that I know it looks strange, but most of people think that in esports is different. Esports is such as 99% of the other industry. For the work, you have to know the basic things that you want to work. For example, I love soccer, but I don't feel prepared to work soccer because I don't know the basic things about soccer. It's different for Luca. He has been working with soccer for a long time, you know. So if you want to work with esports, there are a lot of projects, there are a lot of tournaments. Know the basic, understand the trends. It's different, it's really different to work in esports from the normal sports. I was talking to Neil last time. I think to do marketing is at least at the same way that it's easier, it's harder because you have like some more. It's my question for you. You feel that in esports, the humor, like the people understand better the jokes, like because I was talking to Neil. Uh, if I don't know if you have a team in soccer, but for example, Luca is from São Paulo. He's a fan for São Paulo. If São Paulo lost a game and someone does a joke in the São Paulo's Twitter, they are killed. No one is going to think that it's something nice. But in esport, you have this ability to make joke about your loss. You know, how do you see like the trends and things about esports in the marketing? It's easier, in your opinion. It's harder.
Clubs are different and approach is different. For example, Virtus.pro is obsessed with sport. So for us, yeah, we are same as the soccer in Brazil. So we cannot make joke about ourselves. We are like in irony. Maybe it's one of the problems that we want to fix in our communication, but it's just because it's how we built. I mean, inside of the company, uh, we are really disappointed if we lose, and we don't want to make jokes around that. And yeah, it's just but some teams, yeah, they make fun of everything from transfers, from their loss, from other people's loss. They don't care. They just hang out and they're enthusiasts. But can we tell that those teams are obsessed with sports or if what's their strategy? We don't know. They are more like entertainment. And from I would say maybe that you can see from like the top 5 organizations in the world and their style of communications. It's pretty modest. So they're not like screaming and shouting that we are either the best team in the world and they're not making fun of everyone else. They're modest. They're like clubs, like yeah, like Real Madrid, like Barcelona, like all the famous clubs around the world. Yeah, they're like top tiers and they're classy. And for us, balancing between being classy and being a really, widely known club is difficult. Because originally we are more than 20 years on the markets. There are already people born, and those kids might have kids by now. If they started watching Virtus.pro in the early days. And we just maybe we are the only club, and we had research, and we know that we have dynasties of followers. We have dads with kids who watch Virtus.pro games. So how can you expect us to be like super fun and not filtering our tone of voice? We cannot, because we are friendly club. Yeah. So we are maybe we are even close to traditional sport rather than that kind of strange esports and super fun guys. But we are still not losing that enthusiasm, and we are huge fans of Virtus.pro ourselves because it's like for the gamers by gamers, and for us it's the same.
Well, let's move on to our final part of the podcast. And if you have one piece of advice for someone who is just starting out in esports, or yeah, especially in esports, what would you say?
Have fun as long as you can, because at one day, even funniest and greatest hobby will become a routine. And in esports, how you see it from the outside with the beautiful videos on tournaments with people cheering, one day you just understand that it's your job. You're not that excited anymore, and I don't want like this moment to happen to myself. That's why I'm always trying to find something new, trying to find new projects, trying to change something in my job, trying to motivate my team and myself, because my team motivates me more than I think I do for them. Yep, and that's the key thing, because the worst thing you can have is the disappointment in esports you're working in. So try to change this industry like this industry changed you a long time ago.
Marcelo, you're muted.
I always forget. Sorry, I muted because the echo, but I forgot to dismute. Uh, I strongly agree. I strongly agree with you. If you are doing something from your heart, it's much better, much easier. Uh, Keeping the question like a little bit more further. Okay, now I started with esports and I work with esports, but I'm inspiring. Like I want to be a CMO like you. In your opinion, what is the most important skill that you need? Uh, I don't know, maybe a data analysis, one creative intuition. Which is the most important skill that you need for be a good CMO in your opinion?
Can I say that I don't know? No, I cannot. And maybe that's the key
No, if
thing.
you don't know, okay, but in your opinion,
No,
maybe.
that's actually an answer. You cannot say the word I don't know something because being a CMO is being responsible for a lot of things. And for example, we just started developing the skin for the game, and I don't have much project like that. But that's all right. We have several partnership programs. We already know how to make skins, in-game weapons, and everything. All right, nice projects. We done that with that, and another teams came to me and tell, now we're going to sim racing, and we need a library. Develop that as a marketing, and then you understand that we've never done this. We need to do something like this, and we do it. And then another team came to us and tell that our sponsor, they don't care about traditional instruments, what we can offer them. They want some, interactive chatbots in the messenger. And you cannot tell that you don't know how to do that because you need to research, you need to understand how it works. Or for example, when like people come to you and ask, we're now entering Brazil and we need to run media there. Let's do it. And what you can answer, you just go, let's go, guys, let's do it. Go, go, VP. That's how you do it. And because you just cannot stop, you're always evolving and you cannot get tired. And that's the motivation you need to find always to do your job. And that's fun because I think there are a lot of boring things in our lives, and job shouldn't become one of them.
Nice. I agree. I agree. In the I think it's everything that you said here. It was like complementing that, your career is part of your life, it's nice. Uh, Guys, unfortunately, it's the end of our podcast. It's like 1 hour, like I said before. Uh, Even thank you very much, Evelyn. Your expertise, your answers. I am really sure that someone is get inspired by that. I think, talking about me, especially because I'm a big fan of esports, I am really excited to see how VP is going to work here in esports. I'm a big fan. Knows that after this day that you come to here for Brazil, you have someone cheering for you in Free Fire. Now I usually give a moment for the guests send a message. In your case, if you want to send a message for the public in Brazil, or tell me where I can find you, if you are going to have like I don't know if you can say that, but you are going to have like a special social media for Brazilian VP or no, you going do your advertising here.
All right. That's the moment because all the prereq wasn't advertising of my career or me as an expert, nothing yet. Yeah, so just Guy, thank you for letting me share my expertise. I believe that we can inspire lots of people and make them join our industry to make it much better. Yeah, I think we'll have all the links in descriptions. So subscribe to our X dedicated to Garena Free Fire. Of course, if you have any questions, you can put them here, tag me, or add me on LinkedIn and just go to direct messages. I am always open for nice discussion. Yep, if you wanna get a job in VP, please monitor our social networks. Sometimes we're hiring, sometimes not, but it's always a bit of luck, and I think that the great vacancies will find you. So in the end, I would say, yeah, cheer for Virtus.pro, buy our merchandise.
I have a question that maybe you can answer, but uh, I really like the VP jersey, and it didn't sell here. It doesn't sell here in Brazil. You are expecting to sell that here, or you don't have plans for that?
Huh, that's actually a nice question because I thought that we have delivered to Brazil. I will definitely double check it and share all the links. And anyway, if you're watching this in recording, you should have a link to our official merchandise store.
Yes.
And I believe that you can get some goods for you. Anyway, we'll find a way to get you the best jersey.
Okay, nice. Because there are some jerseys in Europe that I like it. VP is one of that, especially because I really like orange. And you usually don't find that here in Brazil. 5 years ago, you usually to find in Falling store, but nowadays it's almost impossible. But thank you very much, Evan. Don't forget to put the merchandise in the post. I promise that I will sharing all the shortcuts I post. Thank you very much, Luca, for your time.
Thank you very much. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
And thank you guys. See you to the next one. On Thursday, we have the director of esports of Falcons. So it's going to be a nice conversation too. And thank you very much, guys.